People keep saying that 2026 feels like 2016, and I understand why. There's that same sense of instability, that same feeling of standing between versions of yourself, not quite knowing which direction things are going to settle in. And music became one of those things that was certain when everything else was unsteady. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. It anchored me, it gave shape to emotions I didn't yet have language for. I went to see Halsey in the rain. I didn't vlog it. I didn't really document the night the way people expect you to now. That's my quirky way of saying that I only brought my digicam. Halsey is one of those artists that if you think back to 2016, she's kind of the epitome of culture during that year. At least if you're on Tumblr like me. When everything had to be felt loudly or felt like it would disappear, she was the person you went to for the soundtrack of those particular moments. Standing in a crowd now, soaked, tired, it felt different. The intensity didn't consume me. I could stand inside it without coming apart. That felt like progress. Coming back into another year like this, another emotionally unstable year, feels like being dropped back into a familiar track. Back in 2016, I didn't know what my life was going to look like. I didn't know who I was becoming. A month or so earlier, I happened to see Lorde in concert. It felt different to Halsey in a sense that it was quieter, more intimate, held weight in a different part of nostalgia. Her music has always carried distance, perspective. It was something I could relate to. It taught me how to sit with uncertainty instead of fighting with it. That lesson aged well. Some music stays with you because it grows as you do, not because it reminds you of who you are, but because it still fits who you are. Somewhere between all of this, I bleached and dyed my hair. Something I had promised myself I would never do again. The last time was in 2019. Back then, change came from urgency, from needing to be different fast, from trying to outrun something. This time it felt calm. It was just as sudden of a decision. It was just like, why the fuck not? It's just hair. Something I've been really trying to work on is the feeling of being perceived and how little it really should matter and how I'm trying to get over it. I think I'm learning what deserves weight and what doesn't. If I'm journaling about concerts, I can't not talk about Taylor Swift. Most of my life, her music held a lot of weight for me. She represented parts of myself I felt like I was missing out on. Versions of myself I imagined but I haven't lived yet. Just life in general, when you're from a place that seems to be experiencing nothing in its own little vacuum. The Eras Tour felt like a celebration of all of that. Nostalgia, time passing, growing up alongside the music. I bought VIP tickets, I was excited, and then the quiet voices in my head started getting louder. As I became more politically aware, more assured in my worldview, I ended up selling my tickets. I wanted someone else to have that experience. It felt like a bubble had been burst. It felt like the emotions that had cradled and held my hand and supported me when I felt misunderstood was now a commercial conglomerate, and there was nothing I could do to stop that. When something that felt so intimate and personal suddenly becomes silent, especially on things that you deeply care about, and in all honesty you think should be the baseline of humanity, things start to fall apart. Don't get me wrong, I still love some of her music. There are albums and certain songs that I will hold on to forever. But am I still the same person who was fully engulfed by that world? No. As a result of all this awakening, I've decided to sell all of my merchandise. Since I'm going to be moving and there's a lot of new responsibilities, it makes sense. 2025 asked me to shed a lot. People, comfort, nostalgia. Revisiting old memories and learning about old wounds that haven't really processed. But 2026, the horse year, the year of movement, it's teaching me to let go, and that some things don't need to be permanent, even if they felt like the most concrete thing to an old version of you. So here we are now, 2026, another lap, another year, same music, ever evolving, different person.